What's the word, everybody? Today we are going to drive this RTR Spec 2. It's a 2021 Ford Mustang. It has an EcoBoost, 6-speed manual, and it's got the full RTR package. And what we're gonna do is test this thing out with the stock steering geometry and give you guys a little bit of feedback on what it's like to drive one of these in the stock conditions, drifting and ripping it around. And then we're gonna put our Fun Haver kit on it and show the difference and how much angle and the signal pivot conversion and all those geometry changes that I'm gonna dive into play a factor in it. So this is the Fun Haver S550 angle kit. It's been in development for about a year or so. The original kit was on my personal S550, and this is just a refined version of that same bulletproof kit that we've been literally beating the crap out of for the last year and a half or so. The kit is built off being simple but yet effective in changing the geometry, the style of the steering, and just overall allowing more angle and a better steering feel out of the S550. The S550 has a dual pivot steering from the factory, so we've gotten rid of that and gone to a single pivot, which is a more traditional way of steering. It gives better feedback. They do a dual pivot on the Mustang, the stock one, just so that it has better straight line driving. It doesn't track all over the place, but single pivot's been the go-to for cars for 70 years, so we go back to that and get some steering feel back for it. So we've got our caster adjustment and control arm length adjustment here. This actually pivots so that you can easily adjust that and have a setting for each of them. Out here is basically your track width adjustment. Lots of adjustment on both of these. They're Longheims. And then we've got your sway bar attachment here, so that way you can utilize a factory sway bar or an aftermarket one. So in the actual steering knuckle adjustment, we have Ackerman slugs that slide into the spot here, and there's two different ones included, and they can be flipped, so you can have more Ackerman or less Ackerman depending on how your setup is. The caster and some other things affect that, so it's hard to give you an exact number, but we give you basically 4 options for that Ackerman setup, and it fits really snugly into this area here. So this car is going to remain a street car for most of its life, since it is a RTR Spec 2 series. We're going to adjust these arms so they're at their shortest length. And basically what that's going to do is bring the wheel in as much as it can possibly be, and we're going to add camber on the BCs with the top so that we can fit the stock wheel into the stock fender without destroying it. And then basically the kit includes steering limiters that we're going to put in there to limit the amount of rack travel that we have. So we'll probably land somewhere between 50 and 55 degrees, but have a completely streetable car on the stock fender and 20-inch wheels. So much better, I can't believe it. The steering feel is dialed. It self-steers more. The feeling of steering while you're in drift is so much more positive. Like, for being that we've limited the steering angle so much and we've made it work with a stock fender without having crazy camber and fully streetable, makes it just like unbelievable that like it's a bolt-on solution that doesn't look ridiculous, it doesn't need a wide body, that fixes like all the little negatives I have with the steering inside of the Mustang.